Hello, Namaste, beautiful people. Today's video is about Rahu's transit in the sign of Aquarius. So, this is one of the most important transits that is going to happen in the year 2025. So, this Rahu is going to transit into the sign of Aquarius on 18th of May 2025, and it will be there till 2026 5th December for 1.5 years. Right? So we'll go into the explanation for this, that how Rahu is going to behave in the sign of Aquarius, and also how it is going to affect each and every planet. Before we dive into the explanation, if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get regular updates. If you want to have your personal readings, you can check out the link below, www.anmollastrology.com. Under the reading section and unique reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. Also, now courses are available on my website under the courses section. You can choose and buy the online course, and you will be given full assistance from me personally over email. And even if you wanted to schedule a doubt session within that course, you can also ask me for that and you'll be assisted for the same. Okay, so Rahu in the sign of Aquarius. Before learning what are the results, first know about the sign of Aquarius and the planet Rahu. Right? So Rahu is considered as the Asura, Rahu and Ketu. Rahu, whereas, is about obsession, Ketu is about detachment. Rahu is a planet which expands, and rather it's explosive. It is a planet who is unorthodox and makes us go beyond the societal realms. It makes us go away from the restrictions, break down the restrictions and follow unorthodox thinking and unorthodox patterns. So Rahu basically is someone who gives the explosive view to something. It is the mirage. It is the illusionist. So Rahu creates illusion. Rahu makes you see something on the outside, but on the inside, things are very different. So it's more of a show-offy energy. But Rahu, if placed well, can be a perfectionist, can be brutally honest also. Rahu just likes to play with whatsoever is present in the front. Rahu is the energy which works with the ether element, with the air element. That's why nowadays technology, social media, internet, all of this is part of Rahu. Any technical advancement is part of Rahu. Rahu's energy can be good also. I know Rahu is considered the worst as per many astrologers, but Rahu is the Bhoga Karka. It can give you what you desire. It is the Karka of your fulfillment of desires. So you would see whenever we calculate promotions, whenever we calculate marriage timings, birth of children, Rahu plays a very, very important role. Rahu is advancement, Rahu is technology, Rahu is modern, Rahu is unorthodox, right? So, Rahu coming into the sign of Aquarius. Now, what is Aquarius? It's the original 11th house and it is ruled by the planet Saturn. 11th house is about networking. The symbol of Aquarius is a man. It's like a water bearer. The man is bearing the water, and that water is the symbol of prana, life, wisdom. truth. So Aquarius is also one of the signs that is related to technical or technological advancement. Aquarius is about thinking the benefit of a large population along with oneself as well. I consider Aquarius to be a very, very practical sign and also a very futuristic sign. Their goals are not just in the present. Their goals are always futuristic, and Aquariuses have the ability to see the future. They have the ability to understand that their actions in the present are going to set the consequences for the future. That's why you would see Aquariuses to be extra cautious, very similar to the sign of Pisces, because they know that their present actions can give the consequences of the future. That's why Aquariuses are the innovators. These are the individuals who wish to fulfill their desires, but at the cost where they are benefited and also the rest of the population is benefited. So it's all about social causes. It's about fighting for others, making them achieve their rights. It's about technical advancement for the betterment of people, for a modern society. It is also one of the prominent signs for rebellion nature. They are rebel. They are extreme rebel. They do their things their own way. I also personally consider Aquariuses to be underconfident with communication. These are the people who are purist at their heart, but they just do not have the power to confront others. They don't know how to say no. So that's why these people end up ghosting others, because they just do not know. They have bitters when they have to communicate something. They have to pre-plan the whole communication, and at the time when they have to communicate, that is the time when they just lose it. But over a period of time, Aquarius gains their confidence. Planets mature with time in the 11th house or the sign of Aquarius. The symbol of Aquarius is the glyph. The glyph, like the two zigzag lines. It is the lines, you can consider as the waves of water, you can consider as the waves of air, the electromagnetic waves, the technical waves, you can consider them any of that. But it just shows vibrations. It shows movement. It shows futuristic movement. Okay, this is one of the air signs, so definitely it hinders one's stability. I pronounced it wrong for a very long time, right? So now, so as to get the explanation for what Rahu does in the sign of Aquarius, you just need to understand it in 2 to 3 words. First, technical innovations. Second, rebelliousness, and also fighting for a cause. Third, changes. I think these are the 3 things that we have to consider as the conclusive result of this placement. Now, when Rahu is coming into the sign of Aquarius, Rahu will work towards technical innovations. Rahu will work towards advancement. But on a personal level, if I talk about on a personal level, if suppose Rahu is traveling or transiting in a particular house, like for example, for Leo individuals, Rahu is traveling in the 7th house. It is transiting in the 7th house. So what will happen is, I will make you understand a personal theme here. So what Rahu will do is, your spouse or you will develop a kind of inclination towards helping one another. Like, for example, if it's you and you have Rahu transiting in your 7th house, you will be doing something which benefits your spouse. And then you are going to present that, you are going to show that see, I did this for you to fulfill your desires. When Rahu comes in the sign of Aquarius, it wants to announce what they did. It wants to show that they did 100%, but the effort might be just 10%, 20%. It's like catching a big fish in a small pond. That's what Rahu does in the sign of Aquarius. Along with this, we need to understand a few things beforehand. Rahu or Ketu gives the result of the dispositors also. So, Rahu is going to give the result of the placement of Saturn as well. So, in the transits, Saturn is in the sign of Pisces. It's second from its position. It's second from Rahu. And also, we need to understand that Jupiter is throwing its 9th aspect over this Rahu. So, Jupiter is actually helping this Rahu to expand its horizon, but in a positive way. Now, the result that this placement of Rahu along with Saturn would do is that Rahu, being in the sign of Aquarius, wants to chase the materialistic success or wants to chase the recognition and the fulfillment of its desires. Saturn would want you to be disciplined with your spiritual endeavors. Saturn would want you to have an invisible pressure of also fulfilling your social responsibility. So, unlike the placement of Rahu in sign of Aquarius, it does wants to provide the innovation for the society, but it has its own agenda. It is kind of feeling self-centered here. So it will be working towards its ideology, but on the other hand, its motive is self-benefit here. Because Rahu is corrupting in a way the qualities of Aquarius. It is no more just fighting for a social cause, but it is also gaining something out of it. Now, this Saturn will make a person juggle between two decisions, whether to go towards their consciousness, to go towards their intuition, or to endlessly, like a chicken, just, chase the materialistic endeavors and goals. So this is the major thing that we are going to experience with this particular transit. Rahu is going to make us achieve our desires, but at the other end, we also need to balance our spiritual pursuits. We need to balance the inner ability of us. We need to balance our approach, our desires, and our personal healing all together so as to get the complete fruits of this particular transit. Or else, this might not be the best. This can also go into reverse results. Okay, so ultimately, this is a beautiful transit for Rahu along with Saturn and also with the support of Jupiter. But we as individuals have to balance these scales. Okay, now another thing, while talking about the planets, Rahu is a planet which brings in transformations with its transit. Rahu is the Bhoga Karka, but it is also a karmic planet. It makes us fulfill our karma towards that house during its transit. So whatsoever house Rahu is going to approach, it is going to make us fulfill the karma. So all of what we have discussed right now, that is our karma towards that particular house. And we will require to fulfill that. Like, for example, if a person is having Rahu transit in the first house, that means you are an Aquarius ascendant. You will be working towards your growth. You will have a brilliant time with your finances, with your personal growth, your professional growth. But at the same time, are you being honest? Are you being considerate? Are you healing yourself? Are you healing your relationships within your family? That is going to be the question. So, what happens whenever Rahu comes into some house, when it is coming into the first house, it will transform you. It will transform your physical appearance, your thinking process, the way you interact with people. It is going to change significantly everything about you. You might have been a very underconfident person, but when Rahu came into your ascendant, your confidence just is now up. And it is going to help you to gain, help you to be recognized. That's how strong of a combination it could be. But it can give problems within the relationships. And that's the catch or the predictions for Ketu. We will do that in another video. So just the simplest things with Rahu's transit is that Rahu will bring in transformation. Now let's talk about planets. Very first planet, our king, Sun. So when Rahu is coming over your Sun in the sign of Aquarius or is trine to your Sun, that means you may have your Sun in the sign of Gemini, in the sign of Libra, in the sign of Aquarius, and also in the sign of Leo. But, whenever, whichsoever sign is opposite to the transit of Rahu, that is basically taken by Ketu. So we don't specifically consider that. So that's why I'm going to talk about if you have Sun in the sign of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Then these are going to be your predictions. So Rahu coming over the Sun is going to afflict your Sun. It is going to act as a Surya Grahan for you. One positive thing, and I think that is the most important thing this Rahu will do for you, is it will build your confidence. It will enhance your confidence. It will give you the ability to express your ideas, open your horizons, expand your innovation. But on the same side, it can even make you overconfident. It can even make you less concerned with other people's feeling. You may want to fight for a social cause or do some innovative in regards of the society. But you will demand respect out of it. And when I'm talking about society, on a personal level, please consider your surroundings to be as a part of society here. Because not everyone is going to work for society. Not every native is going to work for society. We are here to work, and our karma is actually with the people in our surroundings. So it can amplify your ego in a negative way. Like you will feel, I am the only one. I am I. The I is going to be there. The me is going to be there. So that's what you need to be significantly concerned about. Okay, so another thing what it can do is it can make you go through misunderstandings with your personality. People might misunderstand you for the very beginning time of this Rahu transit, but by the end of this transit, people will start acknowledging your efforts. But trust me on this, if you just have a mindset that I'm not going to care about what people will say about me or how they will misunderstand me, that is the motto of this transit for you. You need not to care about that. You need to be in that zone where you understand your approach towards your recognition. That doesn't have to come from the outside, that has to come from the inside. The more you will appreciate yourself and you will stay grounded with your appreciation, the more good results you are going to get. But this is definitely a time full of confidence, full of your personality blooming out in a very growing way. Now, next is Moon, our queen. So if you have Moon in the sign of Aquarius, you have just been through the peak phase of Saraswati. Now you are having Rahu over your Moon. Now it's the time for you to get obsessive on your ideas. And Saraswati taught you a lot of things, and patience was one of them. That's why it, in a way, did give you growth, but it also decreased the pace or speed of the growth, because it talks more about stability. That's how it teaches you patience. So that's what the Saturn did for you. Now, this is the time for you to grow out of your shell. This is the time for you to go out of that introvert nature and become a little extrovert, especially with your career. Now you would see that your emotions are all over the place. You would want to actually fulfill your responsibility towards the society, towards some cause. Along with that, you would want to fulfill your desires. That has now become extremely important to you, because now you have understood what I wanted, what I lacked. Now, what is that I should do further so as to make myself fulfilled? So it's the time for you to work on your desires obsessively. And trust me, you are going to act as a workaholic, and because of that, you're going to sacrifice your health. Be careful with that. There is a very, very thin line between obsession and hard work nowadays, actually. So please be aware of that. Try to seek a balance within your materialistic self and also your spiritual self. But you will see yourself reaching out to so many astrologers, because you would want to find answers. You would want to find yourself abilities. But trust me on this, all your capabilities, all your talents are going to now surface, and they are going to be used for your progress. Now, next is the planet Mars. If Mars is in the sign of Aquarius and Rahu comes over it. Honestly, I love this placement, having Mars in the sign of Aquarius. But do you know, it's a major responsibility. Having Mars in the sign of Aquarius is a placement of a very smart individual. We call that in Punjabi a very jugadu individual. A person who knows with whom he or she needs to create their network with, and they would work on that. Like, they would use those influences to get their things done. So it's a very smart individual. It's a very intelligent and intellectual individual. And also this gives you technical skills. It also makes you a humanitarian. Now, when Rahu is coming here, it can make you extremely focused on your goals towards humanitarian things, towards provision, towards providing. But do you know what? When Mars and Rahu gets conjunct, your service, your provision gets corrupted also. So in the back of your mind, wherever this placement is, suppose this placement is in the 7th house, you will be dedicated towards and obsessed towards providing your partner, providing your spouse, your partner within the relationship. But on the other hand, you will have some agenda out of it. Definitely you will have that. But this is a combination of success. But remember, if Rahu comes over Mars in the 7th house, it can also give complications with your marriage or to your married partner, with their health. So this Rahu is going to transform your service nature. It is going to transform your energy. It is going to transform your thinking pattern, your thoughts. It is going to transform your status. Because Rahu is here for transformation. Okay, so next is the planet Jupiter. Rahu coming over Jupiter creates a lot of opportunities. It is considered as a Guru Chandal Yoga in the D1 placements, but trust me on this, nowadays you need to have that. Because nowadays no one follows the unconventional method of learning. Everyone wants to learn in a very exciting way. This Jupiter gives you that expansion with your ideas, with your innovation, and makes you work towards your future. This Rahu is going to transform your wisdom, your intellect. You will become a smarter version of yourself. You will become an intellectual and intelligent version of yourself. So first, you will encounter deceptive people, deceptive mentors, people who are not giving you good advices. But then you will decide that I am going to be my own advisor. I am going to be my own teacher. And I'm going to work towards my optimism. I'm going to work towards my focus, my agenda, and whatsoever I need to do in my life. It's like a pure rebel with a little bit pinch of rigidity. Right? So Jupiter, Rahu coming over Jupiter makes you have the opportunity to learn through unorthodox and unconventional ways. You want to do something for the society. You want to stand, you want to help the society with your guidance. And you will be choosing certain paths, certain mediums like social media to do that. You will learn more about innovations. Okay, but the transformation is there with your wisdom and with your understanding to the spiritual world and to the materialistic world. Okay, and this will even give you the opportunity to transform the way you help others, to the way you help people. Now, next is the planet Venus. So when Rahu comes over Venus, it gives you a blossom, or rather I would say blast of energy towards relationships, towards luxury. And do you know, when you have Venus in the sign of Aquarius and then Rahu comes over it, or in fact when you have Venus in the sign of Aquarius and some planet reaches in the transit, you want to do something unusual. Unusual with your appearance, unusual with your relationships, unusual with your encounters. You definitely desperately would want to have a relationship. The way you connect with females, the way you connect with partners, spouse, or just partners, whether it's female or male, that is going to transform. Maybe, for example, earlier you would have been a very introvert person. You would have been a person who does not just, let their feelings flow out there in front of others. But now you are going to be a person who is going to start expressing. That is the kind of transition you're going to experience. It can give you fulfillment of your materialistic desires. Like, for example, you would wanted to buy a car, a luxury car. Now you will be able to get that. You wanted to buy a property. Now you will get a very luxurious property. So that is the kind of changes you can experience. But this makes a person extremely clever and intelligent with their technical pursuits, their innovation. So very, very innovative time. Very innovative plus creative time. But be aware of your limits within relationships and within obsession towards it. It can give you marriage, in fact. If you are a particular ascendant and you have particular combinations, this can even give you a relationship or marriage. But this will also give you the opportunity to heal people at a mass level. So it's good for shamans, healers, mystic healers, or any sort of healers. It will make you follow unconventional ways of healing. And that is a very similar thing with Moon in Aquarius as well. Okay, now we have Mercury. If you have Mercury in the sign of Aquarius and Rahu comes over it, first of all, it will create anxiety. It will make you judge or be fearful of your own communication or your own words. It is going to make you highly obsessive and overthinker. You have to meditate. Trust me on that. It's very important for you to meditate, because that's the only way you can settle this over amplified energy of Rahu over your Mercury. But it will make you have, I won't say a sense of intuition, but a sense of intelligence, that you would know things way before they are actually happening. So it's a progressive time. But on the other hand, if we talk about your emotional health, your mental health, this can give you troubles there. This is the time where whatever you say can spread like fire. Or like I would say, it can go viral. That's the typical sense of air sign. So be careful with your words, be careful with your communication, but definitely it will give you the opportunity to express your intelligence, express your skills in front of large population, and you will be confident about it. It's like that your confidence is there when the camera starts, but then once it goes off, you get those bitters, you get those nervousness, and even before that you are so nervous. This basically happens because Rahu corrupts our nervous system, because Mercury is our nervous system, it's our communication, it's our words. So next planet is Saturn. Rahu coming over Saturn is not always the best placement you would desire or best transit you would desire. Because whenever Rahu or Saturn comes together or Rahu comes over Saturn, there's one word I use for that, which is nazar. Do not announce. Do not announce any achievement for at least 1.5 years. Do not announce anything you want to happen in your life or has happened in your life, any good thing you are happy about. Do not announce that. Keep it to yourself. Rahu coming over your Saturn will give you the opportunities of work, career. It will help you fulfill your ideas and desires related to your career, related to your work. You will be service oriented, but your service will have some selfish agenda on the end. It can even make you land into unnecessary conflicts, unnecessary disputes. But this will help you fulfill your desire on a very larger level. All you need to do is you need to be truthful, you need to have a discipline, you need to be organized. Okay, now Rahu coming over your Rahu, it's like a natal transit, natal return for you people. So with Rahu in the sign of Aquarius, people have ideologies, people have their ideals. Because what is the 11th house about? What is Rahu specifically in the 11th house about? Oh, that person has that. I also want to have that. I will achieve that. Oh, that person has that. I also want that. Oh, that person is so successful. I want to be like them. That is what is Rahu in the sign of Aquarius. So it will amplify this feeling for you for this time period. It will give the other effects that we discussed while we were discussing the introduction about Rahu in the sign of Aquarius. But this is the negative side of Rahu in the sign of Aquarius. It is going to bring about that particular thing very prominently right now in your life. And because of that, you can get the repercussions. You will have to deal with some conflicts because Saturn is second from this position. This position can be very well organized also. You just have to be quite organized. You are going to be innovative. You are going to work towards innovation and you're going to give that innovation to people. You are going to help people. But at the same time, do not chase. Have your clear vision, have your clear goals, but do not chase them only because someone else is doing that. And whenever you set a goal on something and you want to get done with it, just ask to yourself that whether or not it is ethical or not. Because that's what you need to ask yourself with Rahu in this placement. Okay, now last is Ketu. If Rahu comes over your Ketu, now it is not about detachment, it's about attachment. This Rahu is going to make you network, make you connect with a lot of people. Now you're not going to be like that, I am not going to desire for recognition and then I will receive that. You are going to desire for the recognition and you will work towards that. You will work towards attachment. Wheresoever you have this Ketu in the sign of Aquarius, you're going to feel extremely attached to that position. Now, you will work towards the benefit of others with a pure mindset, with a pure agenda, because Ketu is here. Now, you need to acknowledge your internal self. You need to heal your internal self by taking an action upon it. You can't ignore this space anymore. So, Rahu coming over Ketu is like the whole entity is coming together. So, it is going to make work beautifully towards that placement. Okay guys, so this was my analysis about Rahu's transit in the sign of Aquarius. I hope this helps. Next video will be about Ketu in the sign of Leo. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye. Take care.